Welcome to the Everything podcast, and in this episode, I'm going to be finishing my recaps of the 10th Doctor Adventures. We're looking at two standalone box sets which aren't connected to any series, hence why I've done them at the end with all of the instead of adding them to any of the other ones because they didn't make sense to do that. But before I get into this episode, I'm recording this episode on the 17th of February 2026. So there's two releases and two box sets we're going to look at. And the first one we're going to look at in this episode is the 10th Doctor and River Song, which was released in November 2020 with the following synopsis. The Doctor knows that River Song is a part of his future, a maddening, intriguing, but inevitable part. Their lives are becoming inextricably entwined. But in these early days, for the Doctor at least, they must navigate their relationship without too many spoilers. Whatever her past and the Doctor's future holds, River must make sure that he has fun untangling the mystery. We start off with Expiry Dating, written by James Goss. The first time the Doctor met River Song, he saw her die. Now she's asking him on a date. Well, not a date exactly, more of a mission. But the Doctor isn't at anyone's beck and call, or so he thinks. With millions of lives hanging in the balance, can the Doctor afford not to do whatever River wants? Whichever one of him, she asks. We then have Precious Annihilation, written by Lizzie Hopley. When jewels become lethal in the London of 1912, both River and the Doctor turn up to find out why. A mystery takes them centuries into the past and onto the high seas, where a superstitious crew edges towards mutiny. The star-crossed couple are about to find out. While gemstones inspire jealousy, love could be the deadliest treasure of all. And the final story in this set is Ghosts, written by Jonathan Morris. River and the Doctor meet on the most haunted planet in the galaxy. The Doctor's not sure it's an ideal date until they discover a mystery. Something is wrong with the ghosts. Something might even be killing them. And as the Doctor and River investigate, the truth of what's happening on the planet of ghosts may prove deadly for them both. This set was recorded on the 11th, 13th and 15th of May 2020 and stars David Tennant as the 10th Doctor, Alex Kingston as River Song, Peter Davison as the 5th Doctor, and Colin Baker as the 6th Doctor. So before I do spoil the entirety of the 10th Doctor and River Song, here's the trailer.
From Big Finish Productions, Doctor Who, the 10th Doctor and River Song.
I need you to break into the Apocalypse Vault at the end of the Quantum Vatican.
No, that's a fixed point. I can't do that.
I'll see you there.
River!
It's not too bad being worshipped as a god. You should try it.
Doctor.
Yes?
He's here to kill you.
I can tell.
I'm the doctor.
Oh, good grief. You're a year late.
Oops.
You owe me 2 favors now.
No, I don't. I'm only delayed because I stopped to answer the phone.
Then hang up and get out of there. Oh, I've done Elizabethan London loads. Been round the tower, been in the tower.
Of course you have.
I got 6 months for dating a Spaniard.
Oh, of course you did.
No! This here is taking lives! No one has died on this ship quarter, and no one will!
How did you get in here?
Oh, you really do have an axe.
Doctor,
Well, I thought she was bluffing.
the biggest gents will be halfway across London.
Who's making exploding jewellery?
They must be dead.
Unless it's something worse.
Something worse. What could be worse than being dead?
Being a ghost.
No gas! Just keep running!
I'm River, by the way, and this is my friend, the Doctor.
Hello!
I can't think of anything you like more than that screwdriver. Ugh, boys and their toys.
Yeah, well, right now that particular toy would be very useful in finding out what these ghosts really are.
Big Finish. We love stories.
Close your mouth, sweetie. You're dribbling.
What? No, I'm...
That was the trailer for the 10th Doctor and River Song. And before I get on into the individual stories, the highlight of this set is the dynamic that the 10th Doctor, played by David Tennant, and River Song, played by Alex Kingston, have. It's just one of those things. If I do sound a bit different, I think I'm coming down with a cold. I am alright. I think it's just a bit of the time of the year. But yeah, kind of. So if I was to say, because you can have each of these stories separately, I'd probably go the middle story, Precious Annihilation, because it kind of it's a story in the past which isn't what I tend to recommend, apart from actually the First Doctor Adventures, The Outlaws. In that set, I do recommend that one over the modern day one. But most of the time, I do choose the modern day one because it kind of showcases the Ten and River at their best. Yeah, the first story, Expiry Dating, has some multi-doctorness in it, which is obviously good to have. And Ghosts by Jonathan Morris has kind of future versions of Ten and River, and ghost versions that have visions kind of their future, and they kind of have to interact with each other's ghosts. And it's so again, kind of, if you're as I would suggest that if you're a fan of the 10th Doctor and River, or maybe just one of them, that I would suggest that you would get this set, because it's a really good set. Now on to the final and most recent 10th Doctor Adventures release, that being 10th Doctor Classic Companions, which was released in September 2022. So here is the synopsis for this set. The 10th Doctor revisits his companions, K9, Leela, Ace and Nyssa, long after their time-travelling adventures have finished, because they all need help, and when people need help, the Doctor will never refuse. We start off with Splinters, written by John Dorney. The Doctor finds K9 floating in space and sets off to clear up Time War fallout. First they find Leela protecting a village from the Spriggan. We then have The Stuntman, written by Lizzie Hopley. The Doctor and K9 enter a virtual world of a movie stuntman to help Nyssa escape a Time War criminal scheme. We then have Quantum of Axos, written by Roy Gill. Ace investigates a new tech company which seems too good to be true, and meets the Doctor and K9 as Axos escapes its trap. This set we don't know when it was recorded, according to the website, but does star David Tennant as the 10th Doctor, Louise Jameson as Leela, Sarah Sutton as Nyssa, Sophie Aldred as Ace, and John Leeson as K9. That's obviously just the main cast there. So before I do spoil 10th Doctor Classic Companions, here's the trailer.
From Big Finish Productions, Doctor Who, 10th Doctor Classic Companions.
Once upon a time, that is how stories begin. But have you ever stopped to wonder what that means?
K9! Yes! The whistle still works. Just like riding a bike.
Standby mode deactivated.
Leela, what have you done?
Stopped you making a mistake, Peter Kelly. This is not the one we hunt.
Leela! It's you!
Floor 12. Enjoy your visit to a charitable Earth.
Do my best.
Miss McShane, you're back. That jump was incredible. Heart's still thumping.
Thank you, Doctor.
And that car roll this morning. Oh, good luck.
First she's ever done. One take.
Oh, the Doctor!
Yes, Nissa!
I remember!
No!
We're out of road! You've got a new face. Again. And you're still not Scottish.
Are you sure of that, lassie? I can do Scottish. I'm totally Scottish.
Axos expansion triggered. Actualize.
You need to disconnect that thing.
Thing, inanimate object, distinct from sentient beings.
Don't listen to him, K9.
You have some seriously twisted ideas about filing. Make this thing let me go!
Worlds of plenty, boundless nutrition.
Big Finish, for the love of stories.
That was the trailer for 10th Doctor Classic Companions, and before I get onto the set, kind of the highlight of this set is, spoiler alert, that K9 is in all three stories alongside the 10th Doctor, so that dynamic that was established in Series 2's School Reunion is still there. Kind of, as I've spoken about in previous episodes, K9 is one of my favourite Doctor Who companions, because it's a robot talking dog who is very pedantic and stuff like that. But we start off with the Splinters, written by John Dorney, which is where the Doctor and K9 reunite with Leela, who kind of is kind of, this is, I think, all of these stories are quite different. Kind of Leela isn't Leela, but then is, and kind of Leela tries to tell the Doctor what to do, which actually back to that theme of not knowing who they actually are. The Stuntmen, written by Lizzie Hopley, it isn't Nyssa straight away, because it's a Nyssa in a virtual world. So she doesn't realise that she's Nyssa until towards the end of the story, which is quite interesting. Then Quantum of Axos is kind of the most modern story, obviously featuring a Seventh Doctor companion, Ace, played by Sophie Aldred, reuniting with the Doctor. Kind of is kind of the most kind of normal Doctor Who story in this set, but again, kind of K9 is in there, and we find out that the Doctor gifted Ace a K9 of her own at some point as well, which is great. But yeah, that's kind of it. I don't know what I'm going to call this episode, because the software that I use to record this episode only allows so many characters, so we'll just have to wait and see. But that is it for my 10th Doctor Adventures recaps, and unfortunately, as of time of recording, we don't know when the 10th Doctor is next going to show up as Big Finish, probably due to David Tennant's busy work schedule, but because he's not returned to Doctor Who since he appeared as the 14th Doctor for the 60th anniversary specials. But at some point, we know that how big of a Doctor Who fan David Tennant is, and he has done Big Finish before, so I assume at some point he will return. But there is one more release featuring David Tennant's 10th Doctor, which I will talk about in a future episode. You probably can guess what it is, but I'll leave that for future me to discuss in a future episode. So without further ado, let me know what you thought of the releases I talked about in this episode, if you listened to them, my recap if you didn't, and without further ado, I will see you in a future episode of the podcast. See you then. Goodbye.